at here, I've just introduced the chicks to the rest of the flock for the first time. The chicks can get through the netting, which is very upsetting to poor old mum there. She is not happy about that fact. But we are just having a real nice sit down and a coffee, and some of the other chickens have come up and said hello because that's what they do. Grace is very upset, so I might try and encourage the chicks to come back in this direction in a second. They're over there having all kinds of fun over there, and mum is not happy about that one little bit. But it's important to keep an eye on the chickens when you reintroduce both Grace and also the rest of the chicks to the flock. And I'm actually going to get up and I'm going to move and encourage the chicks to come back this way, which I can do pretty easily because they're not great at being handled right now. Hopefully. Hello, wonderful John. Although that's wonderful people. Come on, chicks. These are all the chicks. Look at how much they've grown. Come on, back you go. Back to mummy. Come on, back in. Back in. Come on, back through the fence. There we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and sit back down here, and I'm going to hope that the chicks just run around and get used to me being here. Some of them have gone back, but some of them are used to it. All right, so as you may or may not know, we have 2 Chevrolet Bolt EVs. And Winter's Bolt is charging as well because we haven't finished charging it after the little road trip that we did across America. But it's got me thinking about, what we do next when it comes to, what cars are we going to look for? Do we go for a buyback? How do we deal with that? And it feels at the moment that the situation that we find ourselves in is particularly frustrating because we have 2 Chevrolet Bolts, 2 2017 Chevrolet Bolts, one of which is almost completely paid off, so we'd own it completely. The other one is kind of half paid off. And we have a reservation or a pre-reservation for the Ford F-150 Lightning, which is a pickup truck that we are really excited about getting hold of because we buy a lot of soil, we buy a lot of wood chips, we have a miniature, I guess, holding. There's talk of potentially getting goats at some point, and so having a truck that can carry things is going to be really super useful because we're not going to have to worry about. Sorry, my hair is a mess because I've been working in the garden today and doing some household chores. Having a pickup truck is going to be really useful for us, but at the same point, if we were to do a buyback with our Bolts, no, you can't have the coffee. That's not yours. No. That's not for you. That's for me. Get your own coffee. Yeah. She didn't actually taste it. She just stuck her nose in and had a good sniff. If we were to do a buyback with a Bolt and then we were to want to get the F-150 when it comes out, which is going to be spring next year, all being well, chip shortages notwithstanding, we're not going to be in a position if we've just bought a new car as a replacement. We're going to be back at square one. How did you get into my bean? 1 second. We have a chicken. How did you get in there? Apparently. Oh. One of the chickens can get under the chicken wire, which is not so good. Come on. Come on. Come on, out you go. Go on, back. Back to mummy. Back to mummy. Come on. I'm chasing the chicken through the garden. Come on, back to mummy. There you go. All right, so where was I? Apparently, I'm fairly high up in the wait list. I don't know this for sure, but I've been kind of decoding 50, and based on my reservation number, I think I must be in like the first 100 or so people to put my name down for one. And so that tells me that hopefully we'll be fairly high up on the list to get one, at least if Oregon is one of the launch markets, which I think it will be. So again, sort of doing a buyback for the Bolt and basically walking away and then getting another EV would be economically stupid. But at the same point, one of our Bolts has 95,000 miles on the clock. The other one has 60,000 miles on the clock. If we can't use all of the battery pack for long distance trips, then it starts to make less sense to keep the car from a financial point of view. If we're not able to do, the 200 miles that we kind of expect that car is capable of doing. Now, for day-to-day use, hello Marie. For day-to-day use, the Bolt is perfect. It has a decent range, it has decent performance, it charges up well, it's small enough to get around these country lanes without kind of worrying. Earlier on, I came across a combine harvester that was taking more of the road than you would want if you were in a bigger vehicle. I was just able to pull over a little bit and get past it without having to stop, which is quite a nice thing to do. I just want to show you Charlie. Boy. Yeah, I'm talking about you, Charlie. I am. You're beautiful. You are. He is beautiful. He's a beautiful boy. Yes, look at that showcase there of, look at me, I'm a big man, with his puffy cheeks. Yes, you are. You're the best. Yeah. What? You can see a bird? Right up there. It's all right. I spotted it too. It's not going to take anybody because I'm here. But you're a good boy for spotting it. Sorry, I have to give positive feedback to my chickens. So the Bolt, I think right now, unless GM says, okay, we'll replace your batteries for all affected cars, and we're going to replace the batteries immediately, then I think we're gonna want to see a buyback or possibly an MSRP swap. Now, really? Coffee. Did you not like that? Did you not like my coffee? She's wiping her beak. You are a funny girl. She's my tamest girl. No, you can't have any more. You cannot have any more. No. You can't have any more, baby. This is my coffee for me. As Stefan was asking, would it make more sense to have a buyback offer? Sorry, to see if we can get a battery replacement before we go for a buyback offer. And I think maybe the answer would be yes. I want to give GM a little bit of time first to see if it is gonna offer a battery replacement, but I honestly think GM is running out of time. As I said in the video the other day, GM only really has a couple of weeks to figure out what's my ideal solution, I think, would be an MSRP match, which is when the car company agrees to take your car back for a vehicle of a similar value to the new vehicle that you purchased. And has anyone worked out how many cars? All 2017 to 2019 Bolt EVs are currently being told not to charge overnight, to not park indoors. Right now I'm outside. So we've got 2 Bolts. You can see them behind the Honda. We've got 2 out of the 3 Bolts are currently charging. So I've put Winter's car there because it hasn't fully recharged from its road trip yet. And I've got my car charging. Now I think as we use Hilltop Reserve, and the car only charges to like 80 or 90%, then I think that I'd rather make sure that we absolutely know that the cars, and that means only charging up to 80 or 90%. But it still leaves us with this conundrum. We can't charge the car overnight if we do a long distance trip, which is going to dramatically affect my ability to do trips. You know, we're supposed to be driving down to Southern California a couple of times this year to film some stuff, and if we can't charge overnight at a hotel, that increases the time of our trip. It increases the amount of time we're on the road, and it could cause some problems for us. So I'm really not a fan of that. So at this point, I think an MSRP swap would be the smartest option for us, and I think it might be the smartest option for other people too. Sorry, the rooster is going after one of the chicks, so I just want to make sure they're okay. An MSRP swap would make total sense, but I don't blame people for wanting to sell their Bolts and get rid of their Bolts completely, because GM has frankly screwed this one up properly. And in the back of my mind, although my car has been very reliable and the statistics of this state that there shouldn't be anything to worry about, I have to be cognizant of the fact that there might be a problem with it. Are the chickens okay? You just moving them back in? Yeah, I think Charlie is being a bit of a pain to some of the chicks. This might give us an indication as to which ones are roosters, maybe? He only appears to be picking on 2. So if we end up with 2 roosters out of 6 chicks, that might be good. Just get rid of both cars. Your channel justifies the purchase of another EV, says Buddy. Well, this is the thing, Buddy, okay? So, Transport Evolved doesn't make a whole lot of money. I mean, we make a decent amount of money, enough money to pay the people that work on the channel, but we don't have, we don't have this magic bank account with multiple zeros in it ready for us to buy another car outright. And I'm not sure that doing that would necessarily be useful to other people. Because I think most people who buy a car, most people who watch cars, who watch car channels, who look to buy cars, are not people who, are earning hundreds of thousands of dollars a year or millions of dollars a year and have money in the bank that they can just drop on a new car. Most people have to stop and think and really kind of weigh the pros before they pull the plug. And we are the same. We have committed $100 on a Ford F-150 Lightning. We've committed $100 on a an Aptera. I don't expect the Aptera to come out next year, because every electric car startup, even if it gets to the production phase, is always beset with delays. And with the microprocessor shortage right now, I think that's going to be the case here as well. So the other thing that's kind of really important here is that I don't want to buy a brand new car and then get rid of it 6 months later because the F-150 Lightning is ready. Now, the only way we would consider doing that is if we did an MSRP swap, which is probably what we would lean toward. Doesn't come out with a battery replacement quickly. We're not going to accept another software update because I've lost faith in that battery pack. If GM said, okay, we're going to put in known good battery cells that were made in the US, even if they were 60 kilowatt hour, I'd be cool with that, because it would be a replacement of the existing battery pack with another battery pack of identical capacity. I'm not looking for a car, I'm not looking for something from nothing here. I just want my car to be safe and functional. And I think my wife feels the same way. Same when I told you to get solar panels. Now you have them, as you can use them as content. This puts you in just going back, this puts you in a different position as other people. Well, okay, so we didn't buy solar panels because of our tie-in with a solar company. We've wanted to get solar panels for a long time, and we found Energy Sage and worked on a promotion because they were a product and service that we enjoyed using. Getting solar panels has not been a tax write-off for me. I'm not gonna go to the tax man and go, oh well, that cost us 30 grand for the solar panels. I'm not suddenly going to write that off my taxes next year because you've made 3 videos about solar panels. That's kind of dishonest anyway. I'm not interested in doing that. Of course, you have to have the capital to start with, which, I definitely don't have enough capital to just go out and buy whatever EV happens to be the most popular at the moment. So an MSRP swap looks like it would be the smartest option if GM doesn't come out with a battery swap quickly. And if that were the case, I'm thinking that we would probably go with another Bolt, like a new Bolt. And if it was an MSRP swap, I would feel less bothered about then handing that car back after a year or so and switching it out for the Mustang, not the Mustang, the F-150 Lightning. But we'll have to see. Very curious. It's really funny when I come and sit in their enclosure. They always come and see what I'm doing pretty quickly. For a little bit, they sort of just stand there and look miserable, and then they slowly come up and see what I'm doing. Grace and the chicks are hiding all the way over there. I don't even know if you can see it. Status of the Honda. Can it do for one of the Bolts till the Lightning is out? Okay, so the status of the Honda is we have no seats in it right now. I need to get those recovered and redone. I need to get a new carpet done. I need to do some 3D printing of some components to fix a problem with the boot. I need to fix the bonnet. Then I need to buy a motor controller for it. And then I need to, my legs are going to sleep. And then I need to, after I've done that, I need some batteries and put batteries in. But the Honda is never going to be a long distance car. Are you going for my coffee again? No, I'm on camera, she says. I'm not going to do it, I'm on camera. She'll wait until the camera's off and then she'll go. She'll look at it. Ashley is the most curious of all the chickens I have. And she has a little conversation with me all the time. Like, she comes up and she sort of has that little, what are you doing? Little conversation that she asks me, what are you doing, Mum? And she takes in everything. A friend just traded a Mustang for a Mach-E. I'm just a very happy person. Yeah, I would consider trading in for a Mach-E if I had the money. The problem is that the Bolt EV and the Mach-E are completely different cars. And I said this to someone earlier on today. We really shouldn't, you know, a lot of people have been going around saying to Bolt EV owners, oh, well, now, you know, now it's been proven to you how terrible this car is, maybe you'll get a Tesla. And a lot of people are failing to acknowledge that the Tesla Model 3 and the Tesla Model Y are in a completely different category to the Chevrolet Bolt. They're different cars, they have different purposes. And I don't think it's healthy for us to try and get those two cars to cross shop, because, you know, that trailer behind me, this one right here, we went to the farm store today and we picked up some extra straw for the chickens and some other stuff we needed for the garden, and we brought it back this morning because my daughter's just bought herself a new bed and she wanted to get rid of her old one. And so we use our Bolt as a work machine. So, you know, I wouldn't feel as comfortable doing that with a Tesla. I know it sounds silly, but I just feel that the Bolt is more... do I have a 3D printer? And if so, what do I have? I have an Ender 3 Pro. Ender Creality Ender 3 Pro, yeah. It needs some new parts, and I've got a new control board for it. I've just been so busy that I haven't had a chance to do anything about it yet, so excuse me. It's on the list of things to do. I think I am going to get up though, because the ground is a little damp here, despite it being us being in a dry spell. We had some condensation this morning, and it's not really got very hot today. What can you see, baby? What can you see? What's going on? You're all making like something bad's about to happen. So is there a predator flying around? Is that what you're trying to tell me? All right, let's go this. Yeah. Well, I'm going to go this way. You having a dust bath? Are you? Dust bath time, huh? Apparently. There you go. There are the chicks. I absolutely love my chickens as well. I'll see if I can get my chicks on camera. So some of these are crossbreeds. So some of them are true. So that one that's just come through there is a Americana crossed with a Lavender Orpington. Really interesting colour scheme going on there. And then the one right in front of Grace right here is a Copper Black Moran crossed with an Orpington. Not an Orpington, an Americana. And then that one is a Speckled Sussex. And then the one that just ran out, the dark brown one, is a dark Brahma crossed with an Americana. They don't like me. They don't like humans. So they're tearing through, and I will leave them to it. But I think, with any luck, you'll have one egg, because Ashley, the Lavender Orpington, was laying earlier on. But yeah, I'm curious to know what you feel about the Bolt. If you're trying to figure out what you're going to do. I love my car. I love my Bolt. I think it's a great, fun little car. I do worry about it. I worry about it, having issues with the battery. And I use the battery. And if GM rings me up Not that it will. But if GM was to ring up all the owners next week and go, okay, we're replacing all of the batteries, I'd be happy with that. I think my wife would be too, right? Yeah, she said she was saying yes. She's making woodworking. She's gone back to being shy on camera because she's at home. But that's essentially where I feel. I don't know Winter feels the same way though. I'm going to be honest. I think Winter... Get a buyback. Anyway, thanks for joining me. I'll see you soon. Keep evolving.